that'll lead into the fact that we'll skip over to the news now. Things are going well for Vice President Kamala Harris, man. She's got the enthusiasm. She's got a lot of momentum. And let's jump in with CNN on what are the recent polls, CNN? What's going on?
Every day here on CNN's flagship morning show, we are trying to lay out deep insight in the major historic shifts in this election. CNN senior data reporter Harry Etten is here with what might be, or up until this point, was one of the key, if not the key voting bloc in this election, the so-called double haters, people who didn't like either Donald Trump or President Biden. What's happening with them?
Yeah, all right. So let's take a look at double haters. As you pointed out, these are folks who dislike Joe Biden as well as Donald Trump. And I want you to look at their voting patterns, who they want for president. Now, let's go back to June. What we saw was 28% of those folks were going for Joe Biden compared to 19% who said they were going for Donald Trump. Now that Kamala Harris is the Democratic nominee, look at her support among them. Look at this. 53% say Kamala Harris. Look at that jump. That's a jump of 25 points. Donald Trump has gone in the other direction, down to 11 points. And now we're looking at, what is that, John? That is a 42-point advantage among the folks who dislike Joe Biden and Donald Trump for Kamala Harris.
So, the group he's talking about, the double haters, right? He's talking about...
I kind of love that name.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not usually about the negative spin on things, but that name is hilarious to me.
Well,
double haters.
And the reason they do shit like that is because there actually is a category in political science for these people. It's called the low information or no information voter. The person who knows nothing about politics, nothing about other candidates, they just vote based on who they saw a clip of them and they liked them, or they didn't like them. And that's how they vote. They vote literally just, following their nose around. But now those people they're seeing Biden and Trump. They don't know that Trump's a rapist and a felon, and they don't know any of that. And you sit there and go, how can they not know? Because they consume no news. They go home and watch CSI. Or,
Right.
The Big Bang Theory. They have no idea what's actually going on in the world. If you told them that Israel's at war and bombing the Palestinians, they wouldn't know that. I talked to a guy the other day and I mentioned Ukraine. He's like, what's going on in Ukraine? They've been at war with Russia for the last 2 years. No. How come I didn't hear about that? I don't know. I hear about it every day. So, but there are people like that. But those people generally are the swing voters that decide the elections. And now she's got most of those. She's jumped up. Now I think she's up on the average. Last I checked, she was up four points over Trump, which is that. I mean, it's sort of still within the margin, but it's one of those things where, like, that's true, then that's the election. And now it looks like Florida's within the margin that she could win. And Texas.
Florida.
Yeah, Florida and Texas are now within the margin. I don't think she'll win either one, but
If she were to snag either one of those states,
it's over. Yeah.
I'd like.
It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems highly unlikely, but the fact that we're even having a conversation where there's any world in which it could even happen, like, I never even thought there'd be a reason for us to have a conversation like this.
Well, it came close. Florida came close, and Texas came close with Hillary, and they came close with Biden, and they did sort of come close before with, like, Kerry and stuff. But the thing they did with Bush, because that was the big thing with Bush's presidency. But the thing that's interesting to me about it is the one thing that's different this year for a presidential election that didn't happen in the past is now Roe v. Wade is on the ballot. Abortion rights, women's rights are on the ballot. Women, the first time in the history of this country, the Supreme Court has taken a right away from a group of people, and they've taken it away from women, which are over half the population. So if women come out in Florida and Texas...
And hey, guys, you know what? We noticed.
Yeah, because everybody...
We noticed got away from us. Because sometimes people can kind of, like, rob you on the down low.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like, take a little from you here, take a little from you here, and you just don't see. We saw.
Yeah.
Our eyes are open. The women of this country are aware. And quite frankly, more of us are pissed off about it than are happy about it.
Right. Well, and more frankly, most women know a woman who needed an abortion, couldn't get one, and went through something horrible because of that. Guys, you probably, don't hear about it as much because women don't talk about that with men. It's not like a relatable issue because we don't get pregnant. But I guarantee you, any woman you find on the street knows somebody who's had some sort of horrible pregnancy scare. And they probably know somebody who needed an abortion. Because we had that discussion last time. That's a statistic amazed me. 1 in 4 pregnancies end in miscarriage. And the main treatment for miscarriage is abortion. Otherwise, it can kill the person or make them infertile. So, yeah. So this year, it could potentially, I'm not saying I think it will, but like if election night comes and they call Florida for Harris, you might as well go to bed because it's fucking over. I'm in.
Unless you just really like watching
Trump get his ass kicked.
Trump get in. I'm not gonna lie, that might be a watch party, that I want to be.
Yeah, a famous racist and sexist getting beaten by a black and Indian woman. That shit'll be great.
Listen, I might watch a replay on that thing. That might be like some sort of replaying watch party I could watch several times.
He's gonna say it was stolen no matter what happens, but he's gonna throw a tantrum. Yeah.
Of course.
No, I don't see. I mean, I didn't think he beat Biden, even though there was like, well, in the polls he was winning. I'm like, yeah, but a lot of these voters that are going to vote for Biden or Harris, they usually don't come out until September, October.
Okay. And the truth of the matter is, let's think about who is responding to polls. The people who are responding to polls are people who are
really active,
particularly excited about somebody. Mm-hmm. Most of the Democrats, this one, when it was Biden, were just going to show up and vote for him.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't jumping up and down, whatever, but they were like, oh yeah, clearly I know what I'm doing. But they're also not the people who give a crap about the polls. Like, they're not super jumping up and down about it or whatever, like, yay, rah, and trying to send the poll in.
Yeah.
They're not the voter. They're just like, no, I'm going to show up and do it.
We're not following our leaders like Trump's people are around the country, going to rallies, buying merchandise. You don't see people running around with Biden shoes and a Biden hat and a Biden shirt. And you're never going to see that from the Democratic side. We don't worship them like that. We treat them like they are. They're civil servants. They're lucky we pay them as much as we do because it's a lot. So
right.
They should be freaking grateful and do their jobs.